Back in July last year, the Independent Commission Against Corruption found itself in the headlines. It wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. This time, it was to do with a bloke called Ned Mannoun. He was, and you may remember this, the former mayor of Liverpool in Sydney. He sought unsuccessfully to become the Liberal candidate for the seat of Werriwa at last year's federal election. Just days after the election, his office was raided by ICAC. The raid came after a raft of allegations was made against Mr Mannoun in September the previous year. The claims were made by Shooters and Fishers MP Robert Borsak under parliamentary privilege. The allegations ranged from Mr Mannoun's father receiving apartments from developers to a fire that destroyed a council building. Mr Borsak also claimed Mr Mannoun's job at the Mount Pritchard Community Club ended after a large number of gym memberships were allegedly taken by Ned and resold, with the club receiving no payment. So just days after last year's election, the ICAC comes knocking. And as I understand it, Mr Mannoun was giving his children a bath at the time. His wife was with her mother, who was undergoing surgery that day. Now, Ned Mannoun maintains he had nothing to hide, and that's just how things have turned out to be. You see, Ned Mannoun has received a letter from ICAC. It tells him he has no case to answer and that the Commission won't be taking things further. But I wonder if you're going to read that in the papers or on the ICAC website. And if you do find a small paragraph somewhere, I bet it pales into insignificance compared with what was written at the time. Ned Mannoun is on the line. Mr Mannoun, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
How are you feeling now you've been vindicated?
Look, it's been I feel very emotional, I must say. It's been a very tough time for my family and I, and for my supporters. We always knew we were out there working our butts off to make Liverpool a better place. And, unfortunately, we are attacked by my political enemies who were able to engage ICAC and knock me out from running or being involved in politics. And it's a shame.
Talk us through what happened. This all started in 2015 when Robert Borsak made those claims in Parliament under privilege. He never repeated them outside the Parliament, did he? And did he offer a shred of evidence? Because I would have thought if he had evidence of this, you could clearly bring it to the public's attention outside of Parliament and still make those allegations.
Indeed. And now, can I say this, Chris? This affects all ratepayers in New South Wales, not just the people of Liverpool. So what happened is we were the first ever Liberal council to get elected with a Liberal mayor. So we went out there and we tried to save ratepayers' money, right, as you're supposed to do, as every single council should be doing. We tried to reform things. We never sacked anyone. We never went out there and created job losses. We didn't outsource anything. We just wanted to make the council more efficient. So that put us against the union, the United Services Union, who spent so much time and effort trying to stop what we were doing because they were scared that it would spread to other councils around New South Wales. Right? They took us to the Industrial Relations Commission over 50 times in just over a year, costing ratepayers almost $2 million in legal fees. And I think they only won once or twice out of those times. Right? So what happened is, out of the blue, Borsak gets up in Parliament and starts attacking me. We know Borsak. Borsak goes out there and he hunts these animals out in Africa and just shoots them. I kind of felt like one of those animals, just completely out of the blue, getting hit by this person that I've never met or never spoken to. What it turns out, though, is his son, Adam Borsak, works for the union, that same union, the United Services Union. He never disclosed that and never declared that.
So Robert Borsak was being fed by his own son?
Yeah, well, there's a connection there. You'd want to think, why would Borsak attack us?
And then it continued on to include ICAC when they came and raided your home.
Indeed.
It's a big jump from one to the other. Did they have evidence in reference to that?
No, well, look, as soon as he made those statements, I wrote a letter to the commissioner, the ICAC commissioner. I wrote to the Minister for Local Government, and I asked for them to come and investigate, because I want my name cleared. Because as a citizen, we have no right of response when people go out there and abuse parliamentary privilege. We have no right of response. So, unfortunately, it took them around 9 or 10 months to come knocking on my door with a search warrant. Now, I was happy to come and participate. We didn't have to do this whole cloak and dagger stuff. They knocked on my father's door and did the same thing with a search warrant. Now, my father has lived in Sierra Leone. He's lived in Zambia. He's lived in Lebanon. He's lived in the US. And he goes, I have never been treated like this ever in my life. Now, we all want a strong ICAC. I don't want a strong ICAC. But I must say, I do question the timing of all this.
It must have been one hell of an ordeal for your family at the time.
Yeah, we went from riding high. Liverpool has transformed because of the work and effort that my team did. We have 2 universities opening up in Liverpool. Right, that's completely transformed this whole area. And we're getting on the map with the airport and everything that's going on. And then just to have this terrible cloud hanging over myself and my supporters and my friends, it was just like, well, it really just killed us in a way. It was very dark, and I must say it was very emotional for my wife found out, and myself. So it was, but justice prevailed, thank God.
Justice has prevailed, but as I said before we began our interview, the reply to what occurred in ICAC, that is the correction or the vindication, will never be published to the same degree as what was published when this was first voiced.
Yeah, and I thank you, Chris, for giving me this chance to get it out there, because it's always bad news travels better than good news.
Yeah.
And to those who are listening out there, many people, once they hear about an investigation, they think the person is guilty. I ask you, give that person the benefit of the doubt, let the process happen, and now that you've heard this positive news, spread that positive news.
Yeah.
So it gets out there.
But through that period, you would have been faced with those you didn't quite know, who had no faith in you because the inference was you were crooked.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I received a letter from the Western Sydney University. I was awarded an honorary fellowship for leadership in Western Sydney. It was a massive thing. It was a great honor. Unfortunately, that had to be put on hold until this matter is cleared. Try going for a job, and as soon as people Google your name, don't worry about 4 years of positive work.
Yeah.
They just see the last few results, which says Mayor's office raided by ICAC.
Yeah. Was there an apology in the letter you received from ICAC at all?
No, there was basically just one line in there that says the Commission has now completed its inquiries concerning information and has found no evidence to support the allegations. We will not be taking any further action. Thank you for your cooperation throughout the inquiry.
In the wake of that ICAC raid, the Liberal Party wouldn't endorse you. Where does that stand now, those political aspirations?
Look, I must say I've checked out of the asylum, and I probably don't want to check back in anytime soon. Really enjoying life. I'm home at 6 o'clock every day. I spend time with my kids every day. My weekends are free, so it's really good. I'm really enjoying life. I love Liverpool, but I love my family even more. So I must say I'm enjoying the change.
So no chance of running as an independent at all?
Look, I'm still a member of the party, and look, technically, I withdrew my nomination. I didn't think it was fair for my other colleagues on council. I don't think it was fair for the Liberal Party for me to go in while I had this cloud hanging over my head. So I withdrew my nomination. I could have done it as independent then, but I thought, this is the best thing to do. I must say I've got to thank my supporters within the party who've stood by me. I'm still a member. And I still believe in the cause and what we're doing for this area.
So what does life for you and your family involve, apart from spending time together?
Look, I work for CBRE. It's a great organisation, bringing investment into this area. Mate, we just enjoy ourselves now. I would never. We were doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week. Yeah. You go on a Saturday having 10 functions you do on a Saturday. It does wear you down, and you don't realize until you actually stop. So my wife is very happy that she has a husband back, and I've got a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, 2 boys, and a 4 and a Jacob. They're a handful. So just looking after them. I
could just imagine. Will you attempt to make any contact with Robert Borsak, or have you?
No, I haven't. I would. I asked those members of Parliament to ask Mr. Borsak, even those in the media, that he's never fronted up to any of it. They never. Why did he?
Maybe he's the one that should ring you today.
Well, I'm happy. I won't hold my breath, but it would be a nice thing. At the end of the day, he can make his accusations, but now I've been cleared. I don't know what more I can do now to prove that I've done nothing wrong.
All right. Good luck into the future, and I apologise for all the coverage that has come out of the media on those allegations, and hopefully we can balance the ledger a little bit from our interview today.
Thank you, Chris. I really do appreciate it. My whole family does, so thank you very much.
Former Liverpool Mayor Ned Mannoun, cleared by ICAC. An apology at the end of the letter wouldn't have gone astray, would it?